All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are live. So welcome to the third annual. Can't believe we're doing this for a third year in a row. Third annual First Day Hoops Report Holton Court Bracket Reveal Show. If you are not familiar, my name is Chris Stevens. I am the founding editor of First Day Hoops Report. I am also the podcast producer and host of this particular podcast, Holding Court, where I talk about Delaware basketball on a regular basis. And today was the day where we found out where the 24 teams will go in the boys and the girls tournament. We're going to put the first bracket up on the screen for y'all. It's the boys bracket. If you can't see it very clearly, don't worry, because I can't either. Doggone. Oh man. Okay. All right. So I'll just read the buys to you guys. Okay. So we'll take this off. Okay. The first eight. And if you're not familiar with the state tournament format, let's break it down like this. Each team gets 2 points for a win, and you get 1 bonus point if your opponent is with a 5-1 or better winning percentage. You get 2 bonus points if your opponent is a 7-1 or better winning percentage. You add all of those points up, you divide them by the number of games played, and you get a point index. And the top 24 point indexes get into the state tournament. So for the boys' side, the top 8 seeds are – I need to pull up my own website so I can figure this out. Give me 1 second. This is the magic of semi-live television, as it were. So thank you. If you guys are new, you can go ahead and follow us on all manners of social media. You can find us on X at FS Hoops Report, on Instagram at First Day Hoops Report, Facebook.com/First Day Hoops Report, and you can check us out. If you have a question or a comment or concern, you can shoot us an email, firstdayhoopsreport@gmail.com. All right, so the boys bracket goes like this. Top seed is Dover, the defending state champ. St. E's is number 2. Seaford is number 3. St. George is number 4. Conrad, who will join us shortly, is number 5. Sanford number 6. Howard number 7. Salesianum number 8. Your 9 through 24 is St. Mark's is going to play DMA. That's the 9-24 matchup. Odessa versus Laurel is the 10 versus 23. MOT Charter is versus Middletown is 11 versus 22. Wow, Middletown doesn't have very far to drive to play that game. Big break for them. Smyrna and Sussex Central are going to play for the third time this year. That's the 12 and 21. William Penn Early College is the 13-20. And Cape Henlopen versus Friends is the 14-19. Apple and Lake Forest is the 15-18. Dickinson is the 16-7, and St. Andrews is the 17. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. And that's your first round. That takes place Tuesday, February 25th at 6 p.m. Those are the boys' games. All right, we'll move over to the girls' bracket. Caravel is the top seed there. Number 2 is Delaware Military Academy. Smyrna is number 3. Seaford is number 4. Ursuline, defending state champ, is number 5. Sanford is number 6. St. Elizabeth is number 7. And Padua is number 8. And Dover is number 9. They will face number 24 Archmere. We're going to have Archmere head coach Dan Pisani on in the next couple of seconds. Indian River versus Del Castle is the 10 versus 23. Kate is the 11 versus Conrad is 11 versus 22. Howard versus St. George. This is the second time they'll meet this year. This is the 12 versus 21. Polytech versus Middletown is the 13 versus 20. Tower Hill versus AI DuPont, who was in the Final Four last year, is the 14 versus 19. Early College versus Wilmington Friends is the 15-18. Last in the first round is Houghton, 16 versus Delmarva Christian, number 16. So we got a lot of interesting matchups on tap for both of the first rounds, but we're going to bring on Archmere head coach Dan Pisani. And coach, thank you for joining us. And we know it was some anxious moments for you and your girls today, but y'all made it. Number 24. Just talk about what it was like being able to tell your girls that they have at least one more game to play.
Yeah, it was a good feeling today to officially tell them. You know, I told our girls today, I give them a lot of credit. We've practiced this whole week. You know, we finished a week ago, and we told them, to start the week, fully open. I don't know if we're going to be in, and we were going to work as if we are. And as the week went on, we kind of told them like, hey, some good results came our way, and we're getting a better shot. So to be able to officially say this morning, hey, we're in, who it is, where we're at, and be able to, in practice, they finally start talking about an opponent and this is real. It was nice. It was a good feeling.
And just talk about what you know about Dover so far, if you've had a chance to do any sort of, or is that just going to be something that you're going to have to, spend this weekend working on?
Yeah, we're working towards it as the day goes on, as the weekend goes on. We got a chance to see them. We watched them early in the year. Actually, we were getting ready for Caravel. We actually got to watch them play Caravel. We've been watching some film on them today, and They do a lot of good things. They've got some athletic kids. They got some nice size in there too. Guard plays good. They're physical inside. You look at their results, and the Henlopen North was tough this year, and they split with a lot of the better teams in the Henlopen North. They split with Cape. They split with Smyrna, I think. So they've when they're on their best stuff, they're going to be a tough out. So definitely a tough opponent for us. We had a really good practice today. Going to get back in the gym tomorrow morning and really kind of deep dive into some of this stuff.
And you have a very unique roster this year. Last year was a little more experience. Obviously, Bridget Malloy is your key returner. Probably going to, we're already, commiserating amongst ourselves around all-state ballots. And I feel like we got to put Bridget in the conversation. She's just having one of those years that's just, when you look at the stats, it's like, this is why Archmere's in the tournament. But you have a lot of young players that have played key roles for you this year. Just how important was it for you to get them acclimated to the system and for them to see that their hard work does indeed pay off with a state tournament spot?
Yeah, exactly. It's been a process this year, and we took on a really tough schedule, and as we usually do, and it's different when you have a veteran group who's played a lot of minutes for you. And outside of a couple of kids, we had a lot of kids taking on big new roles. Like you mentioned, Bridget and the job she's done this year. I mean, Bridget's been tremendous this year. She's averaging double-double. She's averaging 17 and 11 for us right now, which is just crazy numbers. Leads us in almost every statistical category. But she's hasn't we were 2-7 at one point, and you would never know that from watching her practice and watching her play. And that's been a good example for our younger kids, is that she didn't really quit on them or anything like that. And she's done a good job kind of helping our players along the way. So, along the way, we've had a lot of people really step up. Our other two captains are Emily Mayo and Rita Hartman, who are seniors, and they've really kind of helped steady the ship along. And then they've helped our younger kids come along. Naya Munjan, our freshman point guard, has been doing a nice job for us, and she's coming along as the year goes on. You got two kids who really grew their roles here, Maddie Benson and Ellie DeLuca, who are playing some great defense for us. So our kids have just been, they support each other. They push each other. They're not easy on each other. They really try and get the most out of each other, but they really kind of hung in there when things were tough early. And when we lost, I think it was the DMA loss, put us at 2-7. And I kind of conversation among coaches, it's like, well, what's left in the tank at this point? How do we come back? And next day practice was as good as it could possibly be. Came out next few games and really took care of some teams who were better than them. We could kind of see, we said a lot today in practice, watching us play 5-on-5, that this team looks a lot different than they looked a month or two ago. And it's really cool to see the work they've put in pay off. And we're hoping now that, Monday can be, really get to see it in action against another team.
And just to get you out of here on that note, just what do you hope this team, obviously Bridget's been there before, a couple of your other players have been there before. For the younger ones, what do you want them to take from this experience, win or loss?
Yeah, and we want them to, kind of see what this moment is like, to experience how cool the moment is. And we're going to play in a great gym. Dover's got a great gym. I'm sure there's going to be a good crowd there. Play a team you haven't played, and it's so different when you're playing a one and done scenario. You lose during the season, you come back the next day. So to kind of feel that moment, rise to that challenge, for us to be the 24 seed almost feels fitting, because we get to, no one knows better than our kids that the 24 seed can win the first round, because we were the 9 seed last year and lost to a great Smyrna team, the 24 seed. So we know that it's possible. And, so I, want the girls to enjoy it, experience it, enjoy the ride down there, enjoy the warm-ups, everything goes with it, the announcements and all that. And when the moment comes, just, make the most of those 32 minutes and hopefully, like you said, win or lose, be proud of the way we battled it out.
Dan Pisani, the head coach of the Archmere girls basketball team. And ladies and gentlemen, before we let coach go, it's a friendly reminder. This gentleman has taken one team to the Final Four, because he reminded me of this a few months ago when he was coaching at Appoquinimink. I was working for the Middletown Transfer all those years ago. He sent me a DM with a picture of a story that I had not seen in a decade, and I almost forgot that I had written that story.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, doggone, he had a great team, because remember, you had Amani Clark, Ashley Smith, Amber Kale, Allie Minner. And this was one of the first girls basketball teams that I covered when I came back to Delaware in 2011, 2012. And Coach has been doing this a long time. He won at Apple. He won at Newark Charter. Now he's winning at Archmere. And definitely always a pleasure to talk to you, and greatly appreciate you taking the time. And best of luck to you girls this weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all you do for all these kids. So thank you for all your coverage. We appreciate that, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right. And now we're going to bring on a boys team. As a matter of fact, we're going to bring on, let's give them the proper introduction, if we may. It is the number 5 seed, 17-3. We got Coach Chris McLean and a few of his players with the Conrad boys basketball team. Conrad, well, thanks for joining. Coach, thanks for joining us. How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having us.
All right, now you guys have had a pretty consistent year. You guys won 17 games. You went and had the honor of playing in the Hall of Fame Classic up in Springfield, Massachusetts. Just how exciting has this year been for your team, and especially now to see it pay off with a first round bye?
It's been a really exciting season for us. We've been able to travel, like you said, go to Massachusetts. We got to play at Drexel University this year on their home court. So it's been a great season for us.
And just when you, I don't know if you had a chance to check out the meeting this morning, but when you got word that your team was going to be one of the 8 that had a first round bye, just how was that moment, breaking that to your players that they get a day off to, just observe opponents and then, see that, they are one of the top 10 teams in the state statistically?
Yeah, it was a great moment for us. We haven't had a first round bye yet in the state tournament. So doing that for the first time was a special accomplishment for these guys.
And I know I see 3 guys over there. I know one of y'all wants to chime in with something. Just, any one of y'all can raise your hand, introduce yourself, and tell me, what this season has meant for your team. What are you looking forward to the most about the state tournament?
I'm Jordan Kennedy. This season's been a lot for me. First starting JV from freshman year, and then coming here like 10th grade, getting a little time, and now I'm starting. So it's been a big opportunity for me. That's really all.
And just, what are you guys looking forward to the most about this experience? Last year, you guys had to go on the road. It was interesting because last year we had you guys on, and MOT Charter was on before y'all, and then you guys came up after it, and it turned out that you guys were playing each other in the state tournament. That is still, I've been in journalism for going on 23 years, and that is still one of the most unplanned for situations that I can remember ever having in my career. So, but now obviously you guys are going to get the winner of the 12-21 game. I can't remember which that one was off the rip, but what are you guys probably going to, be working on in the days off that you have to prepare for that second round game? All right, fella.
Go ahead, Vinny. Vinny can take it.
All right, come on, Vinny. What's up, man?
We were just like, today we were in practice and we were talking about we can't plan for both, but we're gonna go over some stuff for like each team. But we really just gotta stay consistent with what we planned from the beginning of the year. This like in the summer, it was a little rough for us because we did lose Latrell and someone needed to step up, and I stepped up, and then I had these 2 step up with me. So we started picking up full court, and then we took pride on defense all season long. And I think that's like our main key on like our whole game. So we really focus on defense first, and then we worry about scoring the ball, because if we shut a team down from scoring the ball, then we're going to get in their head, but then we can take our time scoring the ball.
The first time I saw you guys this year, you guys played St. George's pretty close. Just what do you think you guys have improved on from that opening game to this point? What do you think you do better now?
I would say at St. George's game, we didn't have McLean. He was out sick. So
yeah.
It was a little rough. We were turning the ball over a lot. We did a good job speeding them up, getting turnovers, but we were giving it right back. Just got a little too much, like overstimulated in the moment, trying to run too fast, giving it up. So I'd like to see him again. That could happen because they're the 4 seed and you guys are the 5. So that would be a very interesting quarterfinal matchup. But I'll let you guys get out of here on this note. Just what do you want to take from this experience? Obviously, you guys have been here before, but you guys are in a different place than you were last year because you're one of the top 8 teams. Just what do you want to take from this state tournament experience, and what do you hope to, what's the ceiling for Conrad boys basketball in your minds?
That trophy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I think if we could just focus on playing to like a standard, just executing what we hope to accomplish in the game plan, and I think hopefully the results will take care of themselves and work in our favor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Coach Chris McClain, Jordan Kennedy, Vinny Starr, Jax. Is that you, man?
Mm-hmm.
And Jax Winteringer. Definitely thank you guys for joining us. We greatly appreciate y'all, and best of luck in your state tournament game. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one. All right, and for the second straight year, and no, they're not playing each other. They're not playing each other this year, but I'm honored to be joined by MOT Charter head coach Eric Epstein. His team is the number 11 seed. And coach, you've got a tall task ahead of you because Middletown is the 22 in number only. That's a very talented ball club over there. But your guys have worked very hard this year, 14-6. Kofi Opoku's had himself a phenomenal year. Just what are you most excited about leading this team into another state tournament, in another home game at that?
Yeah, we're excited for a real test. As you mentioned, Middletown 22 seed, playing much better than a 22 seed right now. They are young, feisty. Coach Aziz Ali does a phenomenal job with them. And it's a great opportunity. It's a good opportunity for our school going against a crosstown school, a school that's been established for a long time and a great program. So we're just excited for the task at hand. It's going to be a fun environment to play in. We were just at practice simulating that. We're just excited to get a chance to really prove ourselves.
Have you had a chance to do much advanced scouting on Middletown? Is there anything, and if you haven't had a chance to look at them, what stands out to you?
Yeah, like I said, the young feisty, they're not going to give up. They're relentless on the glass, and they're just going to come in tough, and you got to be willing to embrace their toughness and their physicalness. Match it sometimes, so a lot of the more than not. So it's going to be a scrappy game. They're a scrappy team and skilled, and they do a lot of things really well. So again, just excited for the challenge, for who Middletown is, and do some good things for MOT and try our best. That's all we can hope for. So
you guys have had a very interesting year full of games, and I'm going to talk about the one. I think you know the one I'm talking about. 5 overtimes. St. Elizabeth versus West Philadelphia High. Just what did that game take? Obviously, to get the win over a program of significance was big for your team, but just what did that tell you about your team's tenacity and their resilience? 5 overtimes. A lot of teams would have probably rolled over after that second or third one, but just what did that tell you about your team? How much confidence did that give you about them heading into the rest of the season?
Just a mentally tough group. It takes a lot of mental toughness to stick in a game with 5 overtimes against a great program in the Mid-Atlantic area. So I'm just I'm proud of how resilient they were and are. And the mental toughness they've shown. And it shows that when we do play our best basketball, we can compete with anyone. So they showed that at the St. East tournament against West Philly. And they've been able, we lost some key seniors from last year, and this group has been really, they've taken this team and made it their own. They learned from Carlton and Justin we had in the past, but they made this team their own in their own special way. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy they come together and are doing it their way and doing it as a team. So.
And just with that in mind, it's never easy in today's world, especially in high school sports, to kind of sort of get some continuity going. But it seems like you've been building this program incrementally, and now all of a sudden you guys are starting to take some sizable leaps. Just talk about, the challenge of putting together a really good program in an era where, you have school choice. You have, kids that want to team up and play with each other, even though it's, kind of unofficially understood that transfers are going to happen and different things, but just being able to build a program at a school like MOT Charter that didn't have the name brand recognition, but now you guys are starting to prove it on the floor. Just talk about the challenge of building that program, or even just the joy of putting together a program like that.
Yeah, when I first took it, I knew we had to be patient and resilient and just do the right thing and build the culture we wanted to build. Ultimately, to me, it all falls back to working hard on everything you do. and that's on the court, in the classroom, in the community. We knew it just was going to be a patient process. And we were lucky, and I'm very lucky that I have a staff that bought into that players that bought into that, to a community that bought into that, to an admin that bought into that. And now, like you said, we're getting to the point where we're starting to see some more success. And really that you always hope for success, but to me, it's always just about doing the right thing. And if the success in wins comes, the success in wins comes, and that's just a bonus on top of it. So, it's been a joy to see it. The players that have been with us, I mean, like you said, we don't really get any transfers, and the kids that we have don't want to leave either. So they stay. They want to work on their games and just be better basketball players. We do a lot of skills and stuff like that. So it's and really invested them in being not only great players, just great all around student athletes. So it's been a lot of work. We've had to be very patient. And now that it's starting to pay off, it's really cool to step back and see where we've gone, but it's taken a village to do it too. So it's been cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, MOT Charter boys basketball coach Eric Epstein. Coach, thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, we'll probably see you down the line. So best of luck to your team in this tournament. We thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate everything you do for the players. It's awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for making it easy for me. Some coaches don't. Some coaches don't. You're one of the ones that does, and I greatly appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, oh, there he is. Okay. So we have two guests, not one, but two. Ladies and gentlemen, to my left, I have Bruce Wayne, the former Conrad and Milford standout, who is now.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cause y'all sound real low.
You hear me? I ain't
A little bit. Hold on.
You might need to turn your mic up, G. Your audio up.
So I'm trying to do. This is weird.
Yeah. Now we can hear you fine. And then of course we have the Newcastle Garfield Park legend.
Hey.
I kid you not. We were at the William Penn Apple game on Monday, and Carl Riley, who of course played
My God.
he was a baller at AI DuPont. He was a little behind me because he was a couple years behind me at AI. I went to Howard, and his son, of course, Kendall, is hooping for William Penn. So we were talking, and he starts talking about how good the gentleman beneath me is, Mr. Strictly GP. So, I mean, I swear, it's him. It's Tony Washam. Whenever Tony Washam and Carl Riley talk about this dude, they talk about this dude like he is the Ayatollah. So he knows a little bit about the game, but these guys are joining me now.
They thought I was lying all that time. I tried to tell y'all, your boy been on the court with a lot of them stars and gave a lot of them some work too.
And now we're going to talk about this work that is the boys and girls state tournament. We'll start with the boys. And what about these seedings? Because here's a question that I got to put up on the screen.
Hold on. Oh no! I will wait till you get to the girls because Del Castle, Flight A champions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Antoine.
Us Cougars. Yes, sir.
All right, so that's why I brought these gentlemen on. What are your thoughts on the overall bracket? Do you think salaries may be a little overranked? MLT Charter, any others that may or may not have caught your eye? So, we got people jumping right into it. So, I'm going to cede the floor to Bruce first and give his impressions of the bracket. Like, what did you see that surprised you? What did you see that didn't surprise you? And you already gave me your picks, but we'll talk about those in a minute. But just what are your overall impressions of the bracket?
First round, in my opinion, respectfully, first round games a little more underwhelming than I was anticipating going in. Another year where Flight B only get 2 teams in. That was something I observed.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. As far as the first round matchups, it's not much to say. The buys went pretty much how I expected it to go. Like, because we all know, for those who don't know,
bonus points. Sal's gonna get all the bonus points. They game the system. They know they do it every year. So like we talk about it all the time. But hey, it worked for them. They the AC. What can you really say? But yeah.
I don't want to say they game the system because not like
I
I know what you're saying, but I still feel like if Sally's comes in here and just starts playing the Delaware schedule and starts beating the tar out of everybody, that's like, they could easily, because this 3-point thing that they're discussing, we'll talk about that in a minute. But they could come in here and start playing like, no disrespect to these schools like Odyssey or Friere or Great Oaks and win by 55 and make the state tournament, but did they really improve their team? And I think we were supposed to have Coach Trevison on, but he's got a family duty right now, and we perfectly respect the fact that a young father has to take care of of the babies. Hopefully he joins us in shout out to Coach Trev. Hopefully he joins us in a bit, but it's tough. Because if they come in state and play in state all the time, people are gonna be like, oh wow, why don't they go out of state and prove themselves? And then when they go out of state, and they didn't slack on any part of that schedule. You saw they played Imhotep, they played St. Joe's Prep, they played LaSalle.
Couple of them was pretty bad losses though. A couple of those losses were like to the point where like I'm not even saying it's game in the system, but in my opinion, and not even knock the Sallies because again I agree they play the best schedule in the state if you're being honest. But like from a bonus points thing. They probably need to figure out a way, again, for everybody. You shouldn't get as many bonus points if you get blown out. Like, if you're losing by 20, like, should you get treated as though you basically won the game?
Right.
That's where the bonus point thing is a little stupid to me. But, the system is a system. Everybody know what it is. When they put the schedule together, it's a little frustrating to see some of the teams that, I ain't going to some of the teams that have beaten nobody, they beaten nobody, but they're ranked in their top 10. Like, and then it's like, oh, they beat tournament teams, and it's like, yeah, they beat other tournament teams who also haven't played against or beaten anybody. So it's good to see some teams that are at least trying. Like Sally's, they are playing. They playing maybe a little bit too many of the out of state good teams, I guess, but they are playing every good team in Delaware, everyone. Like Howard, they're playing every good team in Delaware that they can. Dover, St. E's, all the they play them, and then other people are playing, like, hey, we're going to play against, just some teams that got records, and it's like, And if you've been to some of them games, I've been to some weird games this year, and you can see the difference when you go to a game where there's actual good teams and games where there's just some guys like out there.
Conference realignment conversation comes in.
I think you need to
save that for another podcast.
Yeah, I think you need to kind of get rid of the conferences or at least make them more balanced. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of ridiculous the way like the Diamond State. Like, come on, is the Diamond State like last year? I remember you said Diamond State better than Flight B. I agree. That was this year. Were they? I don't know. Like Conrad looked like they all right, but a lot of them other teams. They just piling up wins playing against, teams.
Well, here's my thing. And me and G have talked about this before. If you're going to give everybody 3 points for a win, then you might as well just open up the tournament. And if you're going to open up the tournament, then you might as well just do away with conferences, which would stink because we came along. Bruce is a little younger than us. Me and G, we a little longer in the tooth, but we know what the rivalries mean.
And that's the thing is like you kind of with the way I can't speak for downstate. I'm not downstate. I don't go downstate, but upstate. Is there any rivalries? Like you play against basically playing a football schedule when you in Flight A and Flight B. You play everybody once, which is 8 games or whatever it is. Right. So it doesn't mean anything. Like why would Howard care if they do, Like really, to some extent, you could almost argue playing in that championship game now hurts them. Like, what is the point of even playing in the championship game? Nobody cares who wins the AB game anymore. That used to be like a big deal. Nobody cares now. Look, they're putting it in, nothing against Howard. That's obviously one of my favorite places, but they're putting it in the smallest gym possible because nobody even wants to host it anymore. It used to be like an honor to host something like that.
Yeah, because like when
Delaware got to start caring about basketball again.
Yeah, because like when I was in high school, like Flight A and Flight B, you really couldn't you really couldn't tell the difference. Like now it's just like flight A is here and flight B is like top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's unbalanced. And then
Right. When I played in Flight A at Del Castle, obviously, and we didn't make it. We didn't make it, but we was always a competitive team. But we never made it to no championship game or nothing. But it was important. Like it was a big thing. The teams that did make it, like us as players on other teams, wanted to be at the game to see that game. It meant something to see William Penn or Glasgow or whatever playing against Howard or playing against Wilmington High. Wish we still had a Wilmington High, but that's another movie. And it's like now, for one, I mean, it's sad to see Wilmington basketball overall kind of doesn't mean anything, which that kind of kills the real whole vibe of the state. If you ask me, Wilmington basketball should mean something.
Right.
And it's like now we kind of at a point where it's like, which private school is going to do this and which private school is going to do that, which again, that's fine, but we got to make it like, so if we going to have these conferences, make them mean something, mix the teams up so that they actually have some competitive games and stuff like that. Or just put the whole put the whole Blue Hand Conference together and have them play everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody play everybody, and then the top two teams play a championship game if you choose to do it that way.
Yeah, and Coach Matt Winnington says if they go 3 points per win, open the tournament, seed by record, and eliminate all conferences. I don't have a problem with that. I think the thing that kind of sort of, I guess, kind of takes away from it is the kids don't really have any incentive to give 100%. I mean, most of them do anyway because they love the game. I mean, there's very few games that I've gone to where I've just seen kids like, yo, I'm just out here because I'm the biggest kid on the team, or I'm just out here, because for phys ed or something. I mean, basketball has never been a sport where a gym coach has said you got to make the team to get a grade. I mean, because basketball has been too important for that. But at the same time, you gotta give people incentive to care. And as I've said before, the people in charge for the most part don't care.
And that's on every level. Like, I mean, again, I hate to be that, my time is better. But can we get back to can we open these gyms up again? Like, I get it. We all got through this pandemic together, but now we got smaller crowds than when we was in the pandemic. Like, because nobody wants to open the gyms up. Like, what is going on with you got gyms that are big enough to have nice events, and it's like, you wonder why kids don't want to go to some of these public schools and stuff like that. The atmosphere feels so small. Right. I can't even get my moms in there. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be sold out, and we only got 80 people in the dang thing. Like, we got to stop the games and get back to being serious about basketball. Like, basketball is meant to have a big crowd. We got to stop being scared that, something might happen.
Yeah, and then games.
I've been at a lot of games. I ain't seen a fight yet. So stop saying that. I've been at a lot of football games where I've seen them. They don't close half the sides of the football fields.
Right.
Got to start loving basketball again. And that's from the top all the way down, for real.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because I was sitting in, I was in on the Zoom for both the boys and the girls committee meetings today. And DIAA Executive Director Dave Baylor said that he was worried about incidents, which I find to be kind of disingenuous, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you.
And that's where, I think people got to start pressing. Okay, well, where's the incidents that happened this year? Where are they? Where are these incidents at? I don't know the guy personally like that, but I've seen him at different events and everything. The events that I was at that I seen him at, there was never anything going on. Like, where are these incidents that you're scared of when it's not happening? Like, we got to stop making this stuff up in our mind. Like, this could happen. It doesn't happen. And not at the basketball games. Not most of them.
All right. I was going to say something, but I'm going to let Bruce jump in here.
It's pretty safe. If we're being honest, the basketball games have been pretty safe.
You were saying, Bruce?
I said they was making up incidents at the Bob last year, but that's
yeah.
Right. It's like one of them things where it's in people's mind that the basketball crowd is so much more dangerous and we got to be careful. And it's like, do we?
And this is my thing. This is my thing. Every accusation is a confession about how you really feel about the people that make up a basketball crowd or a basketball community. And it sucks to say, but Why
Yep.
why lie about it? You know, we're
The last major incident that I remember at a basketball game that was a big thing, if I'm right, was Sally's at St. Mark's, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta it can happen anywhere, but we don't shut those gyms down and we make those crowds have to be half the size. And I know part of it is the schools too, but we gotta cut that out. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna criminalize these kids, which reminds me, Dave Baylor said that he's gonna make everybody make an announcement that if you are actively on the court during play, that if you're an adult, that you're gonna be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Like, what does that even mean? I mean, I haven't been at every game, but I haven't seen it happen. And I've been at a lot of games. I haven't seen who's on the court during the games. And how is that a criminal thing? Like, come on, I can understand if you hit somebody or if you touch one of the kids, but just to accident, something happened and you end up come on, man, we got to stop being crazy out here.
Yeah, I think it's probably because they see a lot of the reactions, from folks sitting in the front row. Like if they don't like a call, some folks. Are people dramatic? That's just how it is. But it never goes anything further than that.
I'm cool with throwing people out. Like, hey, you want to be an idiot? You out. But we ain't got to make it some criminal thing. If somebody's attacking a referee physically, cool. But like talking, put them out. We ain't got to make it a legal thing. Why we trying to put people in the system off of high school basketball? Don't we want people to support?
That's the thing. It's interesting that he said, it's supposed to be a game, and it's like, okay, but you're criminalizing a game, talking about you're going to arrest people if they get on the court. It's like, if a fight breaks out, and I get it, I've seen my fair share of fights. I'll never forget my freshman year at Howard, because you guys know I love a story. Freshman year at Howard, one of our players accidentally elbowed an AI player in the head, and this kid literally picked up a chair and swung it like Bobby Knight style, or even old school Oakland A's Burt Campanera swinging it at Larry LeGros in the 72 ALCS. Just flung the chair. And all hell broke loose. They cleared that gym out so fast it would make your head spin. Now this was 1996. So this happened 29 years ago. God, I'm old, man. I gotta admit it. I'm old. But that's another story for another day. But, things happen. But if you get it under control, then there's no need to pretend like there's just this rampant lawlessness when it comes to basketball, because, again, you're trying to criminalize and you're stereotyping one group of people who are just going to watch a basketball game. And again, basketball is an overwhelmingly black sport in Delaware. It's an overwhelmingly black sport everywhere. And if we're going to start, doing this, respectability politics BS, then you should be able to explain, like G said, you should be fully able to explain what incidents happened, what casualties, if any, how many injuries, how many people needed to be detained, instead of just saying, oh, we heard this was this, oh, we heard this was that. Hearing doesn't make, seeing does, but hearing doesn't. So that's just my personal opinion on the whole, we're gonna make these people straighten up and fly right BS that seems to be permeating down there. But that's my personal opinion. Let's be clear. He doesn't care for me. I don't care for him either. But he can't stop me from doing my job. So, and I just want to make that abundantly clear before because I'm here for the game. We're here for the game. We love to watch this game and anything. And we don't like to talk about this stuff, but we have to talk about it. Okay, yeah. So you got a great point. All right, yes, let's get back to the tournament. So, all right, so on with the predictions portion of the show. Which one of you guys? I know who Bruce has winning it. I'm gonna let him share his his opinion on the boys before we talk. And
you want to kind of break down the bracket, like just talk about just gonna get straight right to.
Oh yeah, we can break down the bracket.
Yeah,
because I think the first round matchup on the boys' side that really kind of stands out to me. I really want to see how MLT Charter fares against Middletown. I really do. And I don't think
it's gonna go well, but I seen them one time this year. I don't see that going too well, personally. Anybody can be right, but I think Middletown's guard play, even though they're pretty young, got a little young point guard and all that, I just think their tempo is going to be too much for MOT.
Yeah, it might be. I
They're
know.
going to speed them up, and I think they're going to run away with that probably sometime early second quarter.
Yeah, the game I look for, like I said, the first round games weren't as appealing as I expected, but it's probably Smyrna Central, Cape Friends are probably like the two best games that I see.
Yeah, I think Smyrna Central is going to be good just for the fact that familiarity breeds contempt. Like this is the third
and they
time
both split in the season, so it's the tiebreaker between them.
It's the tiebreaker because the winner moves on, loser's done.
I don't think it'll be entertaining, but it probably be close. St. Mark's and DMA. I can see somebody winning 19-20.
Yo, you know what? St. Mark's actually doesn't slow the ball.
I was about to say this not the old St. Mark's.
Yeah, they don't score a lot of points either. Come on.
This isn't the Lee Sibley era St. Mark's.
Gonna be a lot of missed shots.
It would be. I mean, that one could be interesting, but I still feel like St. Mark's just has just a little more talent. I mean,
what might be a sneaky good game? Like, quite honestly, a little bias here. You know, my daughter go there, but Dickinson, St. Andrews. What is St. Andrews? Who knows? Dickinson, if Crawford comes out hot,
St. Andrew got
that could be a real tough game for them.
I think St. Andrew got that.
I do too because of the size advantage. But if Crawford comes out hot, he single-handedly almost put Howard out early in the season. He can get hot. I know a lot of people probably haven't seen him play, but that youngin is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to Zamir because he just scored 1,000 point.
I was there for that.
I thought he should have been at least honorable mention last year, but they didn't. And I hope the people that vote recognize him because he's been hooping.
And it's sad they probably won't, but yeah. I've been telling everybody, I don't vote, but I tell everybody I know who got to vote. Yo, this kid is really good.
Yeah.
Trust my credibility. I know what I'm looking at. He can play.
All right, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a real quick break. I'm going to let you guys get a quick breather because we got Coach Trevison on, and I want to talk to him real quick because I know he's got to get back to father duty. So you guys hold tight for a second.
We'll be back for basketball talk.
We're
coming back to talk tough. Nah.
Yeah,
tell that coach congrats.
Yeah, we're done with politics for the minute, and we'll come back with more basketball talk. So in the meantime, it is my honor and privilege to bring on via audio Sal's head coach, Taylor Trevison. Coach, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for joining us. We know you're a busy husband and father at this point in time, so we're not going to take up too much of your time, but let's go ahead and get right to business. Tough start for your guys. Obviously, playing a lot of the upper echelon teams in the Philadelphia area was tough, but it apparently made you guys stronger. You finished 7-3, excuse me. You get a first round bye. Just what was the sort of the approach as you guys came back in state? Obviously that 1-9 hurt a little bit, but your guys came back strong in that second half. Just what did you say to your team to kind of sort of, get them ready for this point in the season?
One, just reminding the newer guys, whether it's the transfers or the freshmen or guys who were on JV the year before, that's what we do. We challenge ourselves, we push ourselves because in the end it's going to make us better. Now, we would have liked to grab a couple more wins there early on like we've done in the past, but it wasn't the case. And so the message was just show up every day, trying to get better and figure it out. And that's what the guys did. We finished strong with some big wins and grabbing some big points and starting to kind of find an identity. It was just show up and try to figure it out. And the kids did that and bought in, and we turned it around.
And a lot of those games, I was there. I was on the radio with Sean Green for that. Middletown finished probably the best finish of the year. And then, of course, you guys turn around and beat Sanford in overtime at Unlock the Light. Just how important is it for your guys to be able to win those close ones? Obviously, a win is a win, but to be able to come back and force overtime like you did against Sanford and then come back from 10 down in the fourth quarter against a really good Middletown team, that definitely has to give you confidence heading into the state tournament, I would think.
Yeah, and I think it's, while not the same type of game as far as being like a last, one possession game, I think the experience of playing in conditions, like at Imhotep or, at St. Joe's Prep, um, prepared us for those moments just as far as being unfazed. Not, again, because we were in one possession games there, but because, it's like we've seen it all, done it all. This is nothing that we should be, worried or concerned about. And let's just play and execute and, make plays when needed. So I think that experience playing against the teams we did actually helps in those moments. And obviously getting those wins helps build momentum and confidence. And I think that showed.
I did want to talk to you about, a slight lineup change that you did make was you kind of turned Kevin Coleman loose. And seeing him, sort of thrive in your system was, fun for, those of us who observed the game. Just talk about adding him to a mix where you have RJ, a certified Division I football athlete, Trell Wright, who has come over and played really good point guard for you guys. Kai Abunabum, I did not know Kai was that doggone big. I mean, he's almost as big as RJ, and he's just a freshman. I bet his teachers call him Mr. Kai. But just being able to have that mix, just how dangerous does that make your team heading into the state tournament? You think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could point to Kevin kind of helping us, as a turning point because it just makes us defensively, especially. Very versatile. We can switch, we can trap, we can fly around, we can protect the rim, and that all really starts with Kevin's athletic ability. And we've always believed in Kevin. Kevin, for people who aren't in the know, he was out for a couple of months leading into the season. About a few weeks before the season started, he had some issues. Health issues, I should say, and then he was sidelined for 2 months. And then when we got him back, it was just a matter of kind of catching him up to speed and adapting some things to his style as well. So, we've always believed in Kevin, and we're super excited that he's producing the way he is and having the impact the way that he is. Just took a little bit longer than he would have liked and we would have liked due to some things we couldn't control, but he handled it really well and has been huge for us, as you stated.
And just, I'll get you out of here on this. This is probably one of the most unpredictable brackets and tournaments that I can remember in recent memory. Again, that goes back to what you're saying about your team being able to have seen it all and been through it all. Just looking up and down this bracket, just what stands out to you about, the parity in the state of Delaware, and what you hope your guys take from this experience as far as you guys plan to go?
Yeah, it is, I think, one of the most wide open years in my time, my 7 years as head coach. And I think it's a good thing and a great thing. It's exciting. And you got to bring your A game every single night. And I think, again, that's where our experience helps us. We know that. I think what will help teams in these situations is experience and some good coaching and making adjustments. And, I do truly think also kind of along this note, but separately, I think this is what makes Delaware basketball really unique and great. I think it's something that is unique to Delaware. I think it's something that's pretty special as far as having this kind of March Madness style tournament with the whole state in it and everybody having a chance. And I really hope that doesn't change. I know there's talk of, going to levels kind of like football and soccer. I really think the parity in basketball, you don't need to be a big school to be competitive in basketball. You need a couple of guys who are really solid basketball players and guys that fill in around it. And, I hope it doesn't change, because I think this tournament specifically shows how awesome that our state tournament can be, especially with it culminating at the Bob, and that atmosphere I think is super unique and special. It's no PCL to Palestra, but it's not far off. And I tell people that all the time who are not from the area and who haven't kind of seen or experienced that. So, I think that is a case for keeping things how it is in Delaware basketball as far as how the tournaments run.
Slades Anthem head boys basketball coach Taylor Trevison, 4 Final Fours in the last 4 years, and 3 state championship appearances and 1 state championship. Going for a second. Coach, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you.
All right, sir. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right. And now
And Coach brings up a good point as I bring Bruce and G back. He brought up a great point about the Delaware State tournament as presently constructed being fine as it is, and I agree, because I mean, why are we separate? Why would we separate, into levels? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. To think that we need multiple state champions in basketball when schools like St. Elizabeth can dominate.
Yeah,
I mean, like, you don't need to have a big school to be dominant in basketball, not just good, dominant. I totally agree with him on that.
Yeah. I think again, they as G said, we need people who just like literally love basketball to see whatever changes that's going to happen through, because you can't just blow everything up and pretend that it's going to be kosher. I mean you literally are one of the last. I think Indiana might be the
Rhode
only.
Island, maybe.
Yeah, us in Rhode Island and Indiana, I think, are the only ones that have like a single.
I think Indiana went to classes. I think.
Yeah,
No
I think
way.
Indiana might have changed.
Wow.
Yeah, like maybe within the last decade, I would think.
Yeah.
I think they changed it.
Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
Mhm.
So what Coach is saying is right. This is unique. This is different. There's no need to change that. I mean, yeah, you might need to change the skeleton of how people get in, but you don't change the result either. You don't change the format.
Especially when nobody's really dominating. Like, there's no 5-time champ, 5 times in a row champion type team. Like, I don't know. It felt last year when people was talking that it was like a paranoia. Sally's and got there all them times in a row, and it's like, yeah, but the teams they was playing against every year was right there as good as they was. From the small school like Tower Hill to a big school like Dover, they all was right there with them. One Penn too, obviously, so it's not about how many people was in the school when it come to basketball.
Yeah. And this comment from Lisa Burrows, we are unique in basketball and our state should reflect that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right, we're good. Yeah. Now, okay. So now that we're done with politics and our thoughts on the format, we'll get back into the boys tournament. Thursday has the potential to be a wide open day. I mean, we're looking at possibly Howard Odessa part 2 in the second round, St. Mark's Sal's part 2 in the second round, Middletown or MOT Charter versus Sanford. Thursday is literally a day where you
Smyrna Conrad possible.
Smyrna Conrad. Like,
in fact, I'd probably favor Smyrna in that. Because Sullivan be heating it up down there.
Yeah, but so is David Maker and Central. Central is like one of the best shooting teams in the state. Like,
and
they don't play up here, so I don't know who that is.
I just found out David.
I feel you.
We know.
I just found out David Maker scored his 1,000th point. So congratulations to him. But coaches and athletic directors, if you want your kids to get the proper publicity that they deserve, please let us know.
Please update the joint. Like, we got a system where you can put this information. Why don't just find somebody in the school who wants to be a little statistician and let them update your joint every, like a study hall or something. Don't take much.
I say this all the time.
We should be able to just type it in, like, check some. Boom. We shouldn't have to even ask for information like that. That's how you get coverage and stuff like that, is by having the stuff readily available. It's not hard.
I say this all the time. There are kids in that school who may not be athletes, but still want to have a career in sports. And this is how you do it. You get them to say, okay, keep the book, keep the clock. And then when we're done, when we sign the scorebook, upload it into Website for Sports. And you'll get extra credit. You may get I don't know if you want to get
or just access. Like, look, we got 90,000 little photographers and videographers that just want to be in there. So, like, we can't have one little kid who's good at math or something like that to do the books at every school. Like, every school has somebody who just wants to be around, sports. Yeah. Everybody can't be 6'2" with a jump shot, but everybody can, fill out the paperwork and stuff like that. So y'all don't have to. Or how about one of those 9 coaches on every bench? Somebody can do it. How hard is it? We acting like this stuff doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go back to look at the box score from a game like even last year, Damn near every box score is just a score. You don't know who played in the game, who didn't play in the game, who scored what. Like, what is the point? That's stupid. The whole point of having that website is so people can use it.
And the crazy part, it'd be the teams that are either contending or have guys who are all-state caliber.
Right.
Oh
and
my
what's
God.
even worse? Even worse though is when they'll fill it out when they win by 20, but they lose, then we don't got time for it.
Right.
That's bull. Like, come on, man. Like, keep up with it. Every game should matter to you. Whether you win or lose, it should matter because you never know who's gonna be scouting and say, how many points is such and such do? What do he do in the big game? Because I don't care what people do in the good game, the big games. So we need to know what happened. Like, it doesn't take much to put the stats there. You got the stats.
And here's the thing, really quickly, before we really get back into basketball, because I know people are like mad at us like now. They're like,
They'd be all right.
They're like, can you please just talk about the basketball? We're getting to the basketball.
They here for the personality.
All right, so here's what I want people to understand about All-State. We have the Delaware Sports Writers and Broadcast Association, which I'm a member of, and we also ask coaches to fill out, All-State ballots as well, because we don't want to just leave it up to the sports writers because not every sports writer can get to every game. So we ask the coaches, and then there are coaches who don't even fill out brackets for their own players. Like, I'm not going to say any names, no tea, no shade, but it is a high-profile coach who, for some strange reason, just cannot be bothered to hit their players in the doggone ballot. And it's like, help us help your kids. Help us help your kids.
You're supposed to be championing your kids. Like, I don't care if he averaged 8 points a game. I'm telling you all about him if I wanted to be the man.
Because it's been those guys. 8 points a game, second team All-State.
And then they'd be wondering why these kids always transferring? Because you're trying to get to the schools that are going to help you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go to places where people are going to make it matter to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stuck with my 9th grade decision and then realize in 11th grade that this school really doesn't care about this sport.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, now okay. All right. We promise we're done now. Okay.
We can't promise, but we'll try.
All right, we'll try. All right. So, so what about the potential? What do you think is the best second round matchup that could possibly happen on Thursday?
Let me see. Seaford Cape, that's gonna be a fun game, I think.
Penn St. George's.
Penn St. George's. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it didn't look good that first time, but it was tight early. Odessa Howard at Howard, so that might, location could change things. Howard tends to be a little more hype when they play at home, I think.
Yeah, they might bust out the East Side High jerseys for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Nigel Alexander and the One Journey for those East Side High jerseys. I'm mad I didn't get one. But yeah, Kate, I feel like
Conrad versus either Smyrna or Central. That's gonna be a game.
Yeah, I feel like.
Also, don't forget, possible. I guess I'm picking them to win. Middletown at Sanford.
Yeah, because
that was a really good game the first time, and Middletown kind of punked them that first game.
Yeah, I think that's something. I think that's something that Sanford would rather prefer. They'd rather see Middletown than MOT Charter because they probably got lick back on their mind. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they'd rather see MOT Charter. I think we'd rather see MOT Charter.
But if they want to compete, if they want to,
they want to win. They want to win.
If they want to win the state championship, they're begging for Middletown. They're absolutely begging for Middletown. They want to win the state championship. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So, real quick, and then we're going to move on to the girls bracket now because we don't want to shortchange the ladies. Gentlemen, your final four and your champion. Start with Bruce.
All right. So let me just go to the quarterfinal game real quick because Dover and Sally's could most likely end up playing in the quarters. I think that's the most important game of this bracket.
Yes.
Because Dover, in my opinion, is the best defensive. Not even opinion. They're the best defensive team in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have 1 through 5 guys that are 6'1" and above that can switch on multiple positions. Sally's second half of the season has probably played the best basketball in the state.
Yeah,
arguably.
Good argument. I can believe that.
They beat Sanford. They beat no, they lost to Howard. Who did they beat?
Lost to Howard. Got annihilated by St. E's.
Yeah. Beat St. George's.
I feel what you're saying. they've been
They're winning games.
they've been a
against
debatable
other-
top 4, top 5 team for sure the last second half of the season.
without question. Yeah. So like I think that's the most important game. But for me, in the Final Four, I got Dover, Penn, St. E's, and Sanford.
Say those again.
Dover, Penn, St. E's, and Sanford.
Penn. Okay. Like it. I like it.
All right.
Hold on. I gotta look at the bracket right quick. For sure, Sanford. That Howard and St. E's and Odessa, that little mix up right there.
Yeah,
I don't know who's gonna win. Like either any one of them three could win the championship, in my opinion. Those is gonna be. I'd love to see Howard against St. E's, because y'all know I love full court press all day. Whew.
They didn't play this year yet. Did they?
Nah, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. I would love to see that because they both play the same game. Like it's all guards and it's fast, and we're gonna get up and down the court. So I would say Sanford. I'm gonna go away from being biased. St. E's, St. George's, and no, take that back. Take that back. I think William Penn's gonna beat St. George's.
I do too.
I'm with you on that. Bruce. I think William Penn's gonna upset them, and then, Sally's. I think they're gonna beat Dover.
Like, that's the game. Like
I told you, Chris. What I tell you, Chris? Chris, when they was losing, what did I say? When my boy get on the court, they're gonna be good, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My boy Cam Coleman got on the court, and it turned into a whole new game for them. Because now you got that athletic wing that can really do it all. I think him and Terrell next year, that's gonna be something to see when they focus just on getting that thing up and down the court.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna shock Dover. I don't think they're gonna win it. I think Sanford's gonna win it. I think Sanford's gonna definitely win it because that bigger court, I think, is gonna kill those presses against them. So I think Sanford's gonna win. And I think Jaden's gonna end up being a player of the year because he's solid as an offensive player, and just there's nobody else like him in Delaware on the defensive side.
I picked Dover.
Yeah. All right, my Final Four. I'm gonna go Sanford, obviously. I like them coming out of there. Out of that 3-6. That 2-7. My heart, anybody that knows me, they know that I bleed that royal blue. Hashtag the school, 1927. I love Howard. But this last week has really given me cause for concern.
Who they lose to?
Delcastle.
Castle, the most dangerous team in February.
I love my Howard boys, but Delcastle? What?
Delcastle.
Cougar Nation, baby.
Delcastle to Howard in February is like Brock Lesnar to the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like literally streak breakers.
Bro,
I still think that's a fake score.
But it's every February.
Every February, bro.
Top 10.
Bro, I went to see them play like maybe a week before or 2 weeks before that. It was bad. It was bad. They look every bit like a 4-win team.
Yeah, I love Howard, but that stretch where they fell apart just kind of concerns me a little bit. Odessa, I think they have enough to make St. E's work, but I don't know if they have, anybody who can get a basket if St. E's decides to just go all in on stopping Burning Cap.
And that's what I think is going to be the problem there. I think that's what Howard is even going to do this time around. I think they're going to strangle him and dare them other dudes to win. And it worked the first time to some extent, but I think it's going to be a little different when they play in the city.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my head. And I know them kids are going to razz me for this because kids razz me every year about my picks. But I'm going to go with St. E's in the other one. And I do think William Penn has the talent. They may be young talent, but it's
next
talent.
Year.
There's talent nonetheless. I think they get to the Final Four. And I'm going to stick with my guns and pick Dover. So my Final Four is Dover and St. E and Penn and Sanford. And I like St. E and I like Sanford in the championship game. So I'm picking Sanford as well on the boys' side. All right, so now we move on to the girls' bracket, and that one is going to be the point of, it's gonna be a lot of discussion about that one because Caravel is the top seed if you're not familiar. DMA, believe it or not, is number 2. Smyrna's number 3. Seaford's number 4. Ursuline's number 5. Sanford is number 6. St. E's is number 7, and Padua is number 8. So the top 8 pretty much went how with respect to who's in it. It's just where they are that has the mind boggle. So
Yeah.
I think DMA at 2. No disrespect to Coach Gian and Maya Hill and Tavi Prado and all those girls, but I don't know how they got there. 17-3 is a great record. Don't get me wrong. You still got to win. You still got to win.
I thought it was gonna be like 5.
Yeah, you still
I
got to
thought
win.
they would be like there, like round 5, 6.
Yeah, but what about the if you guys have had a chance to look at the girls' bracket, is there anything in the first round that catches your eye? I think for me,
I predicted it last year. I'm doing it again this year. That 24-9 upset.
Oh, you like Archmere over Dover?
I'm predicting it again.
Okay, because he did pick Smyrna to be
Archmere last year. This time, Archmere getting they 24-9 lick back.
Yeah,
I do one better. 23. 23 over 10, baby.
Oh yeah, shouts out.
Middletown.
Now it's Del Castle versus Indian River. Shouts out to
Del Castle, baby. We coming for him.
Shouts out to Antoine
Del Castle,
Morgano.
baby.
Shouts out to Antoine Morgano, the Del Castle coach. This was the first year that Del Castle won Flight A since they won the entire state championship in 2009. That of course had the legendary Jaquetta May. Now
I was at their first game this year. Over, I think it was their first game or one of their first games over at DMA when they played Chester. They look like one of the worst teams in the world. So shout out to the coach because I was like, they look like a disaster. You could tell things was just not right yet, but they put it together. Wow.
Yeah, I think they could beat Indian River. I don't know about St. E though because I've seen St. E 3 times this year and they've looked better each time I've seen them.
They're too scrappy.
It's that's where the unbalanced part, is so much more on in basketball. The girls, it's like public school, private. It's like it's way. And again, no disrespect. It's just they're going to get the better players, and it's just it is what it is. Don't want to see nothing split up or nothing like that. Don't get me wrong, but it's just two different playing fields when you think of public and private when it comes to girls.
Yeah. And yes, Winter Circle, we did see that. So
upsets happen. Howard did beat Padua last year, right?
Yeah, man, that was the wildest game.
Right?
Yeah, I was so mad that I didn't go to that game. Which game? I think I picked. I forget which girls game I picked, but I know that
that was the second round, right?
Yeah.
What game did I go to that this year? I don't remember.
I think I saw AI play Seaford. Matter of fact,
I was at Odessa League. I was at Odessa League.
We was at AI playing against somebody that night.
They was playing Seaford. And then when I saw because Kanai Murray Chambers, who has since graduated, hit that layup and that Howard crowd went crazy and that pattern with Jim, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself for not going to that game. But stranger things have happened, but we could just, if there's not a first round, second round matchup you guys want to talk about, we can just skip right to the formalities of the realities of the moment. If you like, if there's a shock that sticks out to y'all, I would love to hear it.
Say we can go to the quarterfinals, honestly.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, so what in that potential quarterfinal matchup catches your eye?
I know if Ursuline. Seaford better sell that thing out. That's the only time they might see GG Banks ever.
They should be down there with pins ready for autographs and all that.
Well, actually, they're not doing home rounds for the quarterfinals.
Oh, they're not.
They're actually doing boys and girls quarterfinal doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday, March 1st and March 2nd.
I heard the idea. I just wasn't.
Where is it at?
they haven't decided where the sites are yet, but the quarterfinals are going to be boy-girl doubleheaders on Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd.
Okay.
And what I liked about, I mean, again, you know, me and him don't see eye to eye on much, but Dave Baylor said that you'd have to be a fool not to see that girls sports is on a trajectory that's like
But that's
going up.
that's across the world right now. You know, female basketball especially. It's a thing.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
Yeah, so he says this is his idea to get more eyes on the girls' game, which I completely support. So there's going to be, you know, double headers where the girls take the floor first and the boys go next. And they're still working on the sites. He said they would have the sites announced for the quarterfinals on Monday. So there won't be any home games for anybody in the quarters. But yeah, Seaford, if you're a Seaford person, you definitely want to get to wherever that gym is so you can see Gigi before.
They're going to get smoked. Hate to break it to you, Seaford's going to get smoked. The Gigi Banks show is going to roll.
Sanford might be the best game.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Seaford gets past AI in the second round. I don't know. I really don't. Because
Middletown, right?
Nah, they switched it up at the last minute. This is what Winter Circle's
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong joint then.
Yeah, so
okay.
Tower Hill still got the Malloy, right?
No, that's Archmere.
The Archmere. Okay, I always get them mixed up. Okay.
You got your greens mixed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was originally supposed to be Tower Hill versus Friends in the 14-19, and AI was supposed to go to early college, which they would have won anyway.
Okay.
But now they switched it. Now Middletown, no, so now Friends is the 18, they go to early college, and AI is the 19, they go to a Tower Hill, which is the 14. So I like AI in that game. That's the game I'm probably going to go to on Monday because I was
still skipping to the quarters.
Yes,
they're not beating Ursuline either way.
Yeah,
so,
but I
put Ursuline in my Final Four. We can start that part for sure.
Very much so.
In fact, the usual suspects are going to be in the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my Final Four is my preseason Final Four: Caravel, Ursuline, St. E, Sanford.
Yeah. Final. They should all get a bite to the finals every year.
until proven otherwise. Huh?
Right.
I'll tell you this. Sanford, I like them a lot, but they had two huge injuries last week. Adriana Chambers injured her knee in the Ursuline game. It was a non-contact injury, so I don't know if she's coming back.
Oh wow!
In fact, she was at the Caravel game on crutches with a brace on her knee, so she's probably done. And Asia Adams got her ankle rolled up on in the Caravel game. She did not come back. Okay. So you lose your starting backcourt.
I would think if it's just a rolled ankle, you should be able to play. By then, you might not play the first round or two, but a rolled ankle, unless it's broken, you should be good by the final, quarterfinals, Final Four.
Yeah, I think it's probably not going to bother them. It definitely will bother them in the second round.
I guess if they play maybe Smyrna, but
might give them
I don't think nobody's giving them.
They wouldn't see Smyrna until the quarters.
Yeah, I don't think any of them teams is going to give them much of a run.
Yeah, but the thing is if you can't get, if obviously Adriana's not going to be able to go. But if for some strange reason Asia can't go, then this is the one time. And Marcus Thompson is somebody that I don't argue with because, he's coached a long time. He's won 5 state championships. And he's just not a person that you want to argue with anything. But, if this is the one time that I'm going to say that he can probably go out of the realm of how he normally coaches and just turn Jay to Snow loose, this is the time.
Yes.
This is absolutely the time.
But even with that, that's the program. I'm sure whatever's behind them might not be as good right now, but probably is a similar talent. Yeah. Program, when you got a program, it's next person up.
Yeah, but I think
But I agree with what you're saying though. You got to go with your star. Your star going to be a star, and I think she's going to light it up in these playoffs.
Yeah, I think what people don't understand, if you're not familiar with the AAU circuit, Jada Snow's nickname there is Magic. That's how she gets busy on the AAU circuit. Mm-hmm. So Marcus is going to if Sanford is going to get to the Final Four, which I believe they can, he got to let Magic be Magic. That's what it boils down to. He just got to let Magic be Magic, and let the chips fall where they may. The good news is that Sanford has an inordinate amount of size. They got Naomi Allen playing center. She's a walking double-double. Aslan Merrill is a 9th grader, but she is one of those freakishly athletic wing. She's 6 foot. I mean, she did a pretty good job defending Speedy Wilson on Tuesday, which I was shocked. I thought Speedy was going to just absolutely, have her way with Aslan. Didn't work out like that. Aslan kept her in front of her most of the night. So, and Aslan can shoot. She can handle the ball. They got Honor Dunkley. The last name might sound familiar to you, old University of Delaware fans.
Spencer?
Yes, that is Spencer Dunkley's daughter, Honor Dunkley.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, so they got, I mean, and those girls are all 6 foot. Kaylee Peckajon, she's about 6'2". So the cupboard is not bare for Sanford, not at all. But it's just a matter of once you start getting into seeing guards like Gigi or Speedy or even Kai Burnett at Smyrna, it's going to be a hard, task for those backup guards to kind of sort of, get around them. But again, if Marcus lets Magic be Magic, then Seaford's going to be right. Then Sanford's going to be always right where they always are, and that's the Final Four, probably state championship game too. All right, so G, what's your? So you had? You already said your Final Four.
Usual suspects is going to be in the Final Four.
All
right.
The same one.
And I would say, yeah, Sanford's going to beat St. E's, probably pretty comfortable. And then Ursuline and Caravel is going to be probably a lot closer this time. But Ursuline's going to win, and Ursuline's going to win the finals. And for the same reason why you were saying, there's where the injuries are going to be a problem when they have to play against Ursuline again. And yeah, you don't blow Gigi out twice. Come on now. So I think Ursuline's going to win, and I think they're going to win convincingly in the finals.
All right. So Bruce, what's your pick?
I'm sticking with my preseason pick. I'm sticking with Sanford.
Okay. All right.
Assuming that Asia Adams is healthy.
Yeah. If Asia can't go, then it's a long shot.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, Caravel's going to make that Final Four. They got, I think St. E, believe it or not, has the easiest road.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not the. Yeah. I mean, they'll get the winner of Indian River Del Castle. And
Whoa, no. Heavy favorites, though. There'll be heavy favorites in that one for sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, the quarterfinal would be DMA. And all respect to DMA, but St. E beat them by 20.
Heavy favorites over DMA.
Yeah, so I think St. E has the easiest road, but then they have to play Sanford. And that's where the easy road stops. But if
We'll turn off their water.
Yeah. And then, of course, Caravel versus Ursuline in the other semi. And Caravel looked so bad against Ursuline in that first matchup. I don't know how they rebound and do a complete 180 in the Final Four. I could be wrong.
I think it'll be a lot closer. But then, like I said, the hero is going to be the hero.
Yeah. I mean, this is really going to be. I think this is Speedy Wilson's litmus test. I mean, there's not too much you can argue with about Speedy's career. 1,000 points, D1 scholarship in hand. You can't argue that, but it's just a matter of can they beat Caravel when it matters. Ursuline when it matters. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Ursuline and Sanford in the final, and I think Ursuline wins as well. So. But if Asia Adams plays, there's probably going to be a lot closer game, and I think I lean a little bit towards, I think Sanford's size is probably going to do what it did the first time around against Ursuline, because Ursuline just had no answers trying to go inside for the most part. But if Gigi when Gigi is Gigi could wake up and just decide, okay, I'm going to drop 40 tonight, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. So if Gigi wakes up each of these next 3 or 4 nights and says, I'm giving you 40.
I've seen her at the Bob 4 times now, and I think she's looked great 4 times. So
every single time, yeah. So it's hard, but yeah, I think Ursuline does repeat. Then of course there comes the question that folks are kind of avoiding that we kind of need to discuss: does she stay?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I can see why you would do both. I got big picture. If it was my decision.
Yeah.
We all want Delaware basketball to be as big as it can be, but sometimes you just outgrow, the pond you in. And come on, if she stay here, she's gonna score what, like 3,500 points? And it'll be almost without being tested.
Yeah. Because Taylor Brown, she had Lou High now. She's been prospering. She having like 16.
Right. And
And she just moved up in the sophomore ranking. She's like top 20 now. Like
she should have been top 20 last year for
she
20
should have
for
been
class of
regardless,
20, class of 27.
well, I'm saying, but that being on that bigger stage, like
Yeah.
you know,
Thing like it's just like she too. Just they both outgrew the pond last year. If we're being honest, I mean they was the best 2 players in the state in the 9th grade.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I think I think if you're Gigi's parents, I mean, they're going to look at what's best for her. But you look at it, she's already scored 1,000 points. She's going to win Player of the Year again. She's probably going to win another state championship again. What else do you have to prove?
It's nothing to prove.
Yeah, it's just time to sort of test yourself, especially when you got that offer from Dawn Staley in the tuck. So
yeah, and it's about prepping for that because it's like,
And you want to go and put yourself in a position where you don't just go to a school like that, but you go to a school like that and be like that.
Yes.
And I don't know if playing here at this point is going to even like you've already peaked here. Who's going to push you next year? Like those teams that are at the top next year are going to graduate peoples too, and it'll probably be even easier next year.
Yeah, Caravel's going to look markedly different. Sanford graduates their 3 key
And
seniors.
it's to the point now where she'll be playing with people her age, and we know she's way out of her age group here.
Right. Yeah. So it's a tough question. I mean, it's something that we're going to be discussing probably until, as Mr. Curtis Watkins says, don't tell me where anybody is until August 15th. So we'll be discussing this until August 15th. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this live edition of Holden Court and the Bracket Reveal. I want to thank my guys, Bruce and G, for coming on. Greatly appreciate you, brothers, as always. I want to thank the Conrad boys basketball team, Archmere girls basketball coach Dan Pisani, MOT Charter boys coach Eric Epstein, and Sal's head coach Taylor Trevison. Greatly appreciate y'all's time. You can find us on all manners of social media. We're on Instagram at First State Hoops Report, X at FS Hoops Report, Facebook.com First State Hoops Report. And if you guys have a question, comment, or concern, or you got a tip for me, because I still am a news organization, I'm always out looking to report for stuff that's related to basketball, shoot me an email. FirstStateHoopsReport@gmail.com. So thank y'all for watching. We're going to see y'all in these gyms for the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be an exciting time. Let's enjoy the basketball. Let's not have any drama. Let's not give anybody any reason to manufacture
Prove them
any
wrong.
drama.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah, prove them wrong. Prove the people who say that they're going to arrest you wrong. Let's do that. So thank y'all for watching. Until the next time we speak, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. We out.